I don't ride clean, I don't ride right. I ride with the weight of 1,000 nights. Got dust on my collar and a nameless worn thin. Got the shape of my wrong years still living just with it. Not an angel, not a ghost, just something that shows up when I need it most. I've tried riding solo down every wrong road, but riding alone is too heavy a load. Ride with the saints, not the queen or the crown. Ride with the ones who are lost and then found. They know every pothole on every bad road. They carry the darkness and lighten the load. Don't ride for the glory, don't ride for the fame. Ride with the saints who still carry your name. I've heard their voices in the 3 a.m. still, coming through the quiet, coming over the hill. Not preaching, not pointing, just riding beside the kind of company that doesn't need to hide. My grandfather's hands on the wheel with me, my mama's old hymn setting something free. Don't need the highway paved smooth and wide. I just need the ones who have already died. Ride with the saints, not the proud or the pure. Ride with the broken who found something sure. They've crossed every river that threatened to drown. They picked up the broken before they went down. Don't ride for the answer, don't ride for the sign. Ride with the saints and the road will align. Who's riding with you? The saints are riding when the dark closes in. The saints are riding when the road disappears. The saints are riding through the noise and the din. Still riding. They never left you. Never left. Just rode on ahead. Rode on ahead, and they're holding the lantern at the end of the road. Oh, 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 Ride with the saints through the fire and the flood. Ride with the ones who redeemed you with blood. They know how it feels to be lost in the night. They rode through the darkness to bring you the light. Don't ride for the ending, don't ride for the start. Ride with the saints who are still in your heart. Still riding, never alone, never alone, never You left a shade in everything you touched. The coffee cup, the door frame and the hutch. The garden still grows the way you planned it out. The roses come up without a shadow of doubt. I find you in the morning when the light comes through. Everything still holds the shape of you.
I thought grief would come like a wave and then leave. Turns out it just lives here, quiet as a sleeve. The shape of you
is in the way the table tilts.
The shape of you
is in the way the silence fills. Not haunting, not heavy, just present and true. Every room in this house still holds the shape of you.
And I wouldn't change it, wouldn't move a thing. The shape of you is the most beautiful remaining.
I wore your cardigan last February cold. The sleeves too long, the pockets full of gold. Found a note you wrote behind the kitchen clock. 3 words in your hand, you finally broke the lock. I read it standing there till the morning grew. Everything still carries the shape of you.
I used to think that grief was just a loss. Now I know it's love, still paying its own cost. The shape of you
is in the creak of the stairs.
The shape of you
is in the way I still sit your chair. Not broken,
not bitter,
just grateful it's true. This whole life still carries
the shape of you, and I wouldn't trade it, not a single day. The shape of you never really went away.
Grief is just love with nowhere left to land. It falls on the places you used to stand.
On the chair, on the garden, on the worn out floor, on the cardigan hanging behind the back door. And I have learned to let it fall,
because the falling means I loved you, and the loving was the whole point of everything. In the way the morning breaks,
the shape of you
is in the quiet sound the sunrise makes. Not fading,
not leaving, just shifting to light. The shape of you fills every room, every night. And I am grateful for every trace. The shape of you is my favorite kind of grace.
Still here, the shape of you,
still the most beautiful thing.
still still the most beautiful thing. I lived before the rooster called, stepped off the porch before the morning sprawl. No word left behind, no reason to say, just the pull of the dirt road calling me away. The fields rolled out like a gray worn prayer. Nothing ahead but the wind and the air. I wasn't running from anything named, just carrying something that couldn't be tamed. The open road. Don't ask your history. The open road. Don't need your name from me. It just opens up like a hand stretched wide, takes whatever you bring and swallows your pride. Every mile of confession, every mile of release. The open road is the closest thing to peace. I've crossed the flat plains of the Oklahoma dark, watch the lightning ride its name across the arc. Stopped at a cedar cross on a lonesome hill, stood there a long time, standing cold and still. Something in the silence of that two-lane dirt shifted just enough to loosen up the hurt. I wasn't looking for a sign or a map, just a road long enough to find my way back. The open road. Don't judge the miles behind. The open road. Don't care what you left to find. It just stretches out past the last known thing, takes the shape of whatever a broken man can bring. Every fence post a marker, every ridge line of grace. The open road is the only honest space. I used to think that home was a place, four walls, a name above a door, a chair that knew the shape of you, but somewhere on a dirt road I couldn't name, between one county and the next. I realized home is not behind you or ahead. Home is the movement itself, the ground under your boots, the sky pressing down wide, the feeling that something is watching you go and is glad you are going. Teaches you to travel with whatever life can bring. Every crossroad a reckoning, every ridge line of grace. The open road always leads you to the right place. Still moving. The open road. Still moving. The open road. Keep going home. Grew up hard on the Oklahoma side, where the red runs brown and the catfish hide. Daddy worked the fields till his back gave out. Mama kept the faith through the drought and the doubt. I took everything that red clay gave, wore every scar like a badge in a grave. The river didn't clean me with water and a word. It cleaned me with the living of everything I heard. Baptized in Red River mud. Not the steeple, not the flood, not the preacher, not the prayer, just the living and the blood. Every hard year, every wrong road I've run, washed me cleaner than the holy water done. The Red River took my pride, took my damage and my grudge. I came out the other side, baptized in Red River mud. Red River mud. Oh, Red River mud. Crossed that river at 23 with nothing but the clothes the road gave me. Slept in the bed of a rusted truck between the Texas line and a change of luck. The mud that bank left on my skin was the first honest thing I'd ever been in. I didn't need a fine or a white road clean, just the Red River running through everything I'd been. Baptized in Red River mud. Not the sermon, not the blood, not the candle, not the cross, just the years and what they cost. Every wound that wouldn't close, every bridge I ever burned, was the water that was washing every lesson that I learned. The Red River knew my name, knew my damage and my drug. I came out the other side, baptized in Red River mud. Red River mud. Red River mud. What washed you clean? Red River mud. What took your pride? Red River mud. What wore you down? Red River mud. What made you ride? Red River mud. Not the font, not the flood, not the steeple, not the blood, just the living and the losing and the years of being understood by nothing but the river and the mud. Red River mud. Red River mud. Red River mud. Baptized in Red River mud. On the Oklahoma side, where the hard years do the washing and the clean ones never hide. Every season of losing, every drought and every flood, was the water that was saving me, was the grace inside the mud. The Red River runs red, still runs it through my very blood. I came out the other side. I came out the other side, baptized in Red River mud. 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 Wash me clean. Red River. Still running, still running. Hallelujah. I've seen the mountains bow to the rain. I've watched the rivers carve through the plain. I've felt the silence after the storm, the weight of something holding everything close and warm. I've stood in the dark with nothing to say and felt the morning come anyway. I used to wonder if any of this was real. Now I know the wondering was the beginning of healing. I do care about every broken thing. I do care about every song you sing, not from a distance, not from above. I'm the quiet beside you, that's the shape of love. Every road you walked alone, every prayer you thought I missed, I do care. I was there in all of it. I've watched the wheat fields bend in the wind. I've seen the prodigal come home again. I've heard the weeping at the break of dawn and sent the morning to carry it on. I know the sparrows, I know the cedar bough, I know your name, I know it now. You thought your silence went unheard and unseen. I was the quiet in every space in between. I do care about the years that cost you most. I do care about the things you nearly lost. Not in thunder, not in flame, only your presence, calling your name. Every scar you tried to hide, every night you couldn't rest. I do care, I was working in your chest. I know the weight of what you carry. I formed your hands before you knew what they would hold. I knew the road you'd take before you'd chosen. I knew the ones that would break you, and still I walked them, everyone beside you. Not ahead, not behind, only beside you.